You think if she missed you, she'd make it obvious. You think silence means indifference. But a woman can feel your absence deeply and still never hand you the comfort of clear words. That's the part you keep getting wrong. You keep looking for simple signals in a complicated emotional reality, and because you want relief, you keep translating mixed behavior into hope, panic, fantasy, and pain. Listen carefully. If you need reminders that cut through delusion and drag you back to reality, subscribe to this channel because some days you do not need motivation. You need truth. And truth is what puts a man back on his feet. Here's what it really means when she misses you badly but hides it. It does not automatically mean she wants to come back. It does not automatically mean she is ready. And it definitely does not mean you should start chasing. It means your absence is real. It means your presence mattered. It means the emotional pattern you created in her life did not just disappear because the relationship changed. That is all, maybe more, maybe less. But that alone is enough to confuse weak men and sharpen strong ones. Weak men hear that and instantly ask, so what should I text? What should I post? How do I make her say it? That right there is the problem. You are still centering her reaction instead of your reality. You are still trying to control the picture in her mind instead of rebuilding the man in the mirror. You are still trying to squeeze certainty out of someone who is not offering it. That's called emotional dependency. That's called outsourcing your peace. That's called handing your self-respect to somebody else and begging them not to drop it. A lot of women hide missing a man for reasons that have nothing to do with not feeling it. Pride, fear, confusion, ego, unresolved hurt, testing their own strength, protecting their image, trying to stay loyal to a decision they already made, trying not to reopen a wound, trying not to look weak, trying not to invite a conversation they do not know how to finish. Human beings do this all the time. They feel one thing and present another. They ache, but they posture. They miss, but they resist. They remember, but they stay quiet. And you? You see one late-night view on your story, one random text, one breadcrumb, one strangely warm conversation after weeks of distance, and your mind explodes. She misses me. She wants me. We're getting back together. Slow down, slow down. Missing you is an emotion. Choosing you is a decision. Those are not the same thing. Desire is not discipline. Nostalgia is not commitment. Curiosity is not alignment. And attention is not love. That is the misconception. Here is the hard truth. A woman can miss you and still not be good for you. She can miss your energy, your stability, your body, your attention, your leadership, your reassurance, your predictability, your humor, your emotional availability, the way you made her feel seen. She can miss all of that and still not be ready to meet you where you live now. She can miss the medicine and still reject the treatment. That is why men get trapped. They mistake emotional residue for relational readiness. Why does that happen? Because people do not only attach to who you are, they attach to how they felt around you. If you brought certainty into chaos, calm into noise, strength into confusion, she will feel the absence of that even if she was the one who walked away. If you represented structure in a time of emotional instability, she will notice when that structure is gone. If you were one of the few men who did not lie, did not perform, did not fold under pressure, did not worship her, did not lose your center every time she shifted moods, then yes, your absence hits harder. Real men leave a real void. Not because they are dramatic, because they are solid. But here is where you sabotage yourself. Instead of letting your absence speak, you interrupt it. You text too soon. You explain too much. You volunteer your feelings before she has earned access to them. You rush in to close the distance that was finally forcing reality to hit. You stop the lesson. You stop the contrast. You stop the consequence. You stop being the man she could feel, and you become the man she can manage. Read that again in your mind. She cannot miss what never leaves. She cannot respect what always returns on discount. She cannot fully feel your value while you keep throwing it at her feet for free. And some of you do this because you think it is loving. It is not loving. It is panic with a romantic costume on. It is fear dressed up as devotion. It is the terror of not being chosen translated into over-effort. You call it fighting for love. Sometimes it is just you fighting against the truth that the dynamic has become unhealthy, one-sided, or unclear. And if it is unclear, that already tells you something. You want clarity? Here it is. When a woman truly misses you in a meaningful way, it usually leaks through behavior before it arrives in language. She becomes inconsistent in her distance. She circles back, she checks, she hovers, she watches. She finds reasons to re enter the frame, maybe not boldly, maybe not perfectly, but patterns start showing up. Not because she is manipulative by default, but because emotion looks for contact before pride allows confession. Still, even then, your job is not to decode every microsignal like a starving man searching for crumbs on the floor. Your job is to stay grounded enough to let actions reveal the truth over time. That's the reframe. Stop asking, "Does she miss me?" and start asking, "What do her actions consistently show, and what do I tolerate?" One question makes you needy, the other makes you dangerous in the best way. One question keeps you begging for interpretation, the other keeps you rooted in standards. Because this is what it costs you when you refuse that reframe. You lose time, you lose sleep, you lose clarity, you lose focus, you lose momentum in your work, your body, your purpose, your spiritual life, your discipline. You start living in pauses, waiting for the text, waiting for the sign, waiting for the closure, waiting for the green light. And men decay in waiting. They soften, they drift, they negotiate with their own dignity. Every day you spend overreading her silence is a day you are underbuilding yourself. You know what is worse? The woman often feels that shift before you do. She can sense when you are no longer anchored in your life. She can feel when your center of gravity has moved from your mission to her mood. And once that happens, even if she misses you, she no longer experiences you as the same man. Because the man she felt deeply was the one who had a life, a standard, a direction, a spine. Not the version of you who started orbiting her uncertainty like it was the sun. That's why you need to understand female psychology without becoming obsessed with female psychology. Understand it? Yes. Worship it? No. Learn patterns? Yes. Lose yourself in decoding? No. The point is not to become a detective of her emotions. The point is to become a master of your own. Here's the deeper truth most men never hear. Sometimes she hides that she misses you because feeling you again would force her to confront what she chose, what she tolerated, what she ruined, what she walked away from, or what she still cannot give. And people avoid mirrors they are not ready to look into. Your absence can become that mirror. Not because you are perfect, not because you are above fault, but because your growth, your calm, your distance, your non-reactivity, your refusal to collapse, those things create reflection. And reflection is uncomfortable for anyone still attached to denial. So what should you do? First, stop trying to get emotional confirmation from a woman who is giving you ambiguous access. Stop calling half interest a deep sign. Stop turning occasional attention into a love story. Stop feeding fantasy with scraps. If she misses you, let her miss you. If she values you, let that value rise through effort, consistency, and clarity, not just mood. Second, stop performing absence while secretly begging to be seen. Some of you post strategically, disappear theatrically, date publicly, and act unbothered in ways that are obviously designed to provoke a reaction. That is not power. That's called covert chasing. That's still neediness, still dependence, still her controlling your emotional weather. Real detachment is quiet. Real growth is not a stunt. Real self-respect does not need witnesses. Third, redirect your energy back into what made you powerful before you forgot. Train your body, clean your space, stack your money, protect your sleep, rebuild your standards, get your mind out of emotional junk food, read better, work harder, speak less, mean more. If your life is still built around whether she returns, then your life is too small. Expand it until one person's uncertainty cannot shake the whole structure. This is where most men resist because they want a tactic, not a transformation. They want the right text, not the right identity. They want a shortcut, not a standard. They want her to feel pain, not themselves to become powerful. But power does not come from making someone miss you. Power comes from no longer needing to interrupt your life to prove your worth to somebody who is undecided. Think about that. What kind of man becomes unforgettable? Not the loudest man, not the most available man, not the man who keeps sending speeches at midnight. The unforgettable man is the one whose presence felt like truth, the one who was grounded, the one who did not bend himself into shapes just to keep connection alive, the one who could love without losing form, the one who could care without crawling, the one who could walk away without becoming bitter, the one who made standards feel normal, the one who made chaos feel unnecessary. That is the man. He does not chase confusion. He does not audition for a place in someone's life after they've already seen his value. He does not become more persuasive when someone becomes more uncertain. He becomes more observant, more still, more selective. He listens to behavior. He watches consistency. He notices where energy flows and where it stalls. He does not force what does not move. He does not beg what does not choose. He does not call longing love just because it hurts. He knows the difference between being missed and being respected. He knows the difference between chemistry and character. He knows the difference between a woman reaching out because she feels lonely and a woman returning because she has clarity. That discernment saves him years, and women feel that. They feel when a man is no longer trying to squeeze an outcome out of them. They feel when he has exited the psychological marketplace where men compete for validation. They feel when his attention is earned, not extracted. They feel when his silence is not punishment, not strategy, not ego, but peace. That kind of man becomes heavier in memory because he is lighter in desperation. Now let me confront another lie. Some of you secretly want her to miss you because it would finally prove you mattered. And that is dangerous because now you are not looking for connection. You are looking for evidence. Evidence that you were enough. Evidence that she was wrong. Evidence that the pain meant something. But your value was never supposed to be proven by somebody else's regret. That's a trap. If you need her longing to validate your worth, then you are still in chains. Gold chains, maybe. Romantic chains, maybe, but chains. You do not heal by becoming the ghost in her head. You heal by becoming fully alive in your own life. Let that sink in. If she misses you, fine. If she doesn't, fine. Your assignment does not change. That's masculine steadiness. Your principles do not rise and fall with her emotions. Your direction does not get rewritten every time she sends a signal. Your self-respect does not become negotiable because you caught a hint of nostalgia. You stay on code. You stay clear, you stay clean, and if she does come back, then what? That matters too. Because a lot of men spend months fantasizing about return and 0 seconds preparing for discernment. If she comes back, do not melt, do not rush, do not reward emotion without accountability. Do not hand over access just because she finally admits what silence was hiding. Missing you is not enough. Explain that to yourself like a grown man. Missing you is not enough. What's changed? What's understood? What's different in behavior, communication, maturity, honesty, and effort? If those answers are vague, then her return may only be a reunion with comfort, not a commitment to growth. That's called recycling pain. And you are too old for that. Even if you are young, you are too old for that. Here's the sequence. Do this. Get still. Stop chasing signals. Stop rereading old messages. Stop checking whether she watched, liked, viewed, hovered, hinted, or half opened a door. Stop trying to win by proximity. Stop trying to be chosen by making yourself convenient. Stop volunteering loyalty where there is no structure to receive it. Redirect that energy into discipline, into work, into your body, into your craft, into your friendships, into your mind, into whatever makes you proud to be alone with yourself. Then raise the standard. If she wants access, it comes through clarity. If she wants conversation, it comes through consistency. If she wants a place in your life, it comes through truth. No more emotional coupons, no more discount access, no more maybe occupying space meant for peace. And if she never returns, then good. Not because pain is fun, not because loss is easy, but because truth is better than illusion. Because a closed door is still better than living in a hallway. Because certainty, even painful certainty, gives you your life back. You can build on truth. You cannot build on maybe. Some men are addicted to maybe. Maybe she still cares. Maybe she was scared. Maybe timing was off. Maybe she's testing me. Maybe she wants me to fight. Maybe that song she posted meant something. Maybe that late night text means destiny. No. Maybe means your mind is filling gaps that her actions refuse to fill. Maybe is where self-respect goes to die if you stay there too long. Reality or fantasy. Presence or silence. Clarity or crumbs. Standards or stories. Choose. Because every time you choose the story over the standard, you train yourself to abandon your own eyes. You saw the inconsistency. You felt the confusion, you noticed the imbalance, but because longing was louder than truth, you overrode the evidence. And every time you do that, you break trust with yourself. That is the real wound, not just that she left or hid or pulled away. The deeper wound is that you left yourself trying to keep connection alive. You stop that now. You stop abandoning your body to anxiety. You stop abandoning your work to obsession. You stop abandoning your dignity to interpretation. You stop abandoning your future because part of you still wants the past to turn around and apologize. The strongest shift you can make is this: stop trying to be the man she realizes she lost and become the man you refuse to lose. That changes everything. Now your growth is not revenge, it is restoration. Now your boundaries are not punishment, they are self-respect. Now your silence is not a tactic, it is alignment. Now your standards are not ego, they are structure. That's the mature frame. And from that frame, you can finally see clearly. If she misses you and does nothing meaningful, then the feeling is not your responsibility. If she misses you and comes back with confusion, that confusion is not your home. If she misses you and reaches out with sincerity, then you assess, not from hunger, but from strength. You no longer meet emotion with emotion. You meet emotion with discernment. That is growth, and that is what makes you dangerous to dysfunction. Not because you become cold, because you become clean. Clean in your thinking, clean in your standards, clean in your priorities, clean in your peace. You can still have heart. You can still feel deeply. You can still love hard. But your heart is no longer unsupervised. That line right there will save some of you. Your heart is no longer unsupervised. So if she misses you badly but hides it, let her feel what your absence means. Do not interrupt the lesson. Do not cheapen your value by over-explaining it. Do not campaign for recognition. Do not beg to be understood. The right people do not need endless convincing. And the people who do need endless convincing usually do not want truth. They want comfort without cost. You are not here to provide unlimited emotional access at the expense of your own stability. You are not here to shrink yourself into a softer, safer, more ignorable version just to keep somebody nearby. You are not here to decode mixed signals until your nervous system forgets what peace feels like. You are here to stand in reality so firmly that fantasy loses its grip. And once you do that, something powerful happens. Whether she comes back or not, you come back. You come back to yourself, to your routine, to your standards, to your breath, to your sleep, to your hunger, to your edge, to your name, to your life. That is the comeback that matters, because at the end of the day, the goal was never to become unforgettable to her. The goal is to become undeniable to yourself. A man who trusts his eyes. A man who honors his energy. A man who does not confuse longing with alignment. A man who does not throw away his peace to keep a possibility alive. A man who can feel loss without becoming lost. That is your identity now. You are not the man waiting for hidden feelings to rescue him. You are not the man measuring his worth through her silence. You are not the man living on crumbs, hints, views, and emotional weather reports. You are the standard. You are the boundary. You are the clarity. You are the answer. If this gave you the truth you needed, subscribe. So when your mind gets weak, you have a place that reminds you who you are. And if you're building that kind of self-respect, the kind that chooses reality over fantasy, discipline over desperation, peace over performance, you belong here.